so you don't fall. Hey, man, there you go, Ron.
Getting better.
We don't often start a show out quite like we're starting this one out, but I gotta tell you, I got a great phone call. It's in the month of July when Snook spawned. My good buddy Ron Hueston, the Midnight Rider, tells me that the bite is on. So we're gonna do something a little different. No boats, no motors, no planes or trains is gonna stop the Snook from biting tonight, according to Captain Ron. So we're going over fishing the Tamiami Trail by foot. Only thing we gotta worry about is how many mosquito bites we're gonna get, and the snakes, and the alligators. Stay tuned, let's see what happens. Well, Ronnie, you called me. You told me the Snook bite was on. What can I expect?
Well, last night I fished the night after the storm. I caught plenty of good-sized fish. I caught some small fish 2 nights after the storm. There's a few patterns we're going to work. We're going to try to work some bridges with some smaller twitching baits, working the current, working the edges, hoping to try to get some of them bigger snook I caught last night. If that don't pan out, we're going to walk the banks, throwing short-lip lures, these repellant X-wraps, and we're going to cast long ways along the edges of the banks, try to get some nice fish, and I believe we'll catch plenty of fish tonight. Might not be all the big monsters, but I believe we'll catch some slot-sized fish and have a good time and show people that it ain't about having a boat. It ain't about going out in the Gulf catching all these fish. It ain't about getting on a pole and platform. There's hundreds of cars that drive down this road every day, and there's plenty of snook swimming back and forth through here. It's about putting in your time, knowing where the fish are, moving back and forth. You got 20 miles of freeway from Wootons all the way into Marco Island. We're just going to give it a shot. We're going to work hard and do the best we can do and be productive.
All right, I'm excited. Let me get my rod, see if we can get this going. Oh, what was that? There he is, Ronnie.
What?
I got it, baby.
You got one?
Yeah. Ooh.
Good one?
Yeah, he feels like a good one. I ain't seen him yet.
You're gonna walk him to the right bank. There you go. Good job, Rick.
Yeah. We're gonna go what? The right bank over here? Okay.
Yeah. Gonna walk him to the right bank.
Is that like not in the wrong bank, right?
We're gonna walk him right down to the bank.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, Snooky!
Over here,
got him
Rick.
in the head. That's what a good lure do for you, Ron.
Oh, he's a little one.
You want a boga?
No, he's a little one.
Hey! Lure come out, yeah. There's what we came for. I like that though. A good lure, attack them.
See the color of that fish?
Now, Ron, why do you think he's so skinny?
Well, these fish are basically backcountry fish, and with all this water pumping out of the north, they're flowing out and eating all these brim and tilapia and all the stuff coming through at all these bridges. The key thing is this time of the year, especially with a lot of the rains from July to late October, you can catch a lot of snook off all these bridges. They're all sitting at these attack points. They're pumping the water from the north. Like I say, that ain't a silver fish, that's a backcountry fish.
Right.
We'll hit some spots later where the fish are going to get a little bigger, and they should be stacked up, but right now we're just trying to kill some time and get
Let the tide get right.
Yeah.
All right, let him go. We'll put him back over there. I'll shine a light for you, Ron.
Jeffrey Page.
Got him?
Yeah.
How often do you get to do that, Ronnie? Where you let him go between the banks?
Not often.
Cool.
I'll tell you, fishing out of a boat's just a convenience.
Yeah. There's your flashlight. Hey, man. All right.
Don't forget the first one.
Hey, drew first blood. You get back over here and catch me another one. He tried to do you. He tried to do you, Ron.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Florida, the fishing capital of the world. Yamaha, when you want the best. Rapala, your best shot at a world record. Rapala Line, premium fishing line crafted from experience. Maverick, fish the legend. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. Humminbird, simply, clearly better.
Almost 1,200 miles of coastline, 12,000 miles of rivers and streams, nearly 8,000 lakes over 10 acres, over 700 world records, and 3.4 million anglers a year. In fact, anglers outnumber golfers 2-1. Whether you're casting a plug along the shore or trolling the blue waters of the Gulf Stream, you're enjoying a vast outdoor resource. Relax, get closer to nature, and spend time with friends and family. Go fishing right here in the fishing capital of the world.
Yamaha's Big Block V6 4-strokes. Everything you want when you're miles offshore. Everything and more. Up to 250 ocean-conquering horses. More than enough top-end muscle to move the big boats. Yamaha turn-the-key reliability translates to confident starts. Quiet, clean-burning performance. Smooth, powerful acceleration and cruise all-day fuel efficiency. Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
You know, I fish all over the world in over 300 days a year on the water. And as a matter of fact, I spend more time on the water than on dry land. If it swims in salt water, I catch it. Out here, where the fish are big and mean, your lures really take a beating. To survive, they must be tougher than the fish you're backcountry to blue water, my choice in lures is simple. All over the world, big fish eat little fish that swim like a rapala.
It takes a little more to make it out here. It's about guts, standing up to the elements, and quietly doing the job when others have long gone home. It takes Riptide, the toughest, most corrosion-resistant trolling motor ever built. When your reputation's on the line, hang it on Riptide, only from Minn Kota.
I fish tournaments to win, period. And my boat helps me do that. I gotta run longer, faster, harder than anyone else, day after day, every day. My Hughes is designed by anglers that actually build boats to do that. These guys are driven. If they can satisfy my needs, they can satisfy yours. So, who's gonna build your next gift?
Maverick, Hughes, Pathfinder, flat skiffs, tunnel skiffs, and bay boats. Maverick Boat Company, angler driven. When the Tamiami Trail opened in 1928, the road was an engineering marvel. More than half of it was built through a trackless swamp long before the era of modern earth movers. The road from Tampa to Miami took 12 long years to build, and the men who worked it called themselves Trailblazers. The trail looks a lot different during the daytime as it crosses through the Big Cypress National Preserve and Everglades National Park. It passes Everglades City and Chokoloskee, small communities whose economies rely on commercial and recreational fishing. We recently filmed an episode with Rick and Ron's brother Chris snook fishing during the daylight hours.
Bite your line off.
That was really cool, Ron. Fish hit that plug 3 times. He tried to do you. He tried to do you, Ron. Come back up here, man. That was really cool.
You want that plug or what?
He wanted it. He hit that plug on the surface 3 times on the surface.
Smash.
You know, the best thing about that, Ron, I'm very, very impressed, is you kept your composure. Think about how many times you're out here guiding, and your client, what they'll do is they set the hook, and now they pull the plug right totally out of the game. And by doing that, now, you know, it's not even in the same ballpark. He really, really smashed that skitter walk.
I'll tell you what, I fish a lot of lures, and I love Topwater. But I tell you the lure that's incredible, and that's all I strictly use. These skeeter walks are the deal right here. I'm talking redfish, cobia, snook. When a fish wants this skeeter walk, you saw that skeeter walk? He wanted that plug.
Yep.
He wanted that. And I'll tell
3
you
times
what,
on the surface.
this color right here is a snook slaying lure right here. Redfish, you know, with the skeeter walk, you got to downsize a little bit in Florida.
Let me get my Van stalls in there.
With the skeeters, with Louisiana, Jacksonville,
Redfish.
Tampa, the redfish love this lure. This is the lure right here.
Rapala makes a lot of good ones, that's for sure.
Here you go.
Snook fishing at night is a whole different deal. Alligators, snakes, and oh, those mosquitoes. Fortunately, the fish don't seem to mind one bit.
Yeah. Take your time now. Take your time, Ronnie. Now, Ronnie, you know what's amazing about this is how many fish and how many people drive by these fish every day in Tamiami Trail.
Better fish.
You know what? It's amazing.
It's better. I think they're going to start feeding, Rick.
Well, that one certainly did. That one certainly did.
Everything I was catching last night, that was the smallest.
Well, that was last night. Tonight's a different night, you
They're
know.
going to feed, brother.
We just got to wait them out. Don't get those hooks in you. This kind of adds a new dimension to be looking down the road, you know, while you're seeing if there's any cars coming. But if you think about the people that are traveling from Miami over to Naples every day, or from Naples to Miami, they passing all these big snooks.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't now. But you know, if you think about it, Ron, you got to be a hardcore snook fisherman to do this. Here we are in the month of July with mosquitoes. I mean, like crazy. It's a good one. That's a good one.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah.
You know one of the reasons I do this? I could go hook up the boat and get out in the islands. I do this for stress relief. Come out here, do some fishing, enjoy myself, listen to the nature out here. It's all about having a good time for me anymore. I've caught so many snook. It's just having about a couple hours of casting and enjoying myself.
Well, let's let him go. Got cars coming. I want to get out of the road. Trying to get underneath the bridge. That's a cool sound, isn't it, Ronnie?
Yep.
You ever have any gators try to eat them, Ronnie, like this?
Yeah, a lot of times when the water gets lower.
Now, one of the things that make this happen, Ron, what would you tell people that's key to make this happen? Is there any specific thing you look for?
What I look for, you see how the water's flowing? I look for the water flowing. I look for the moon to be down. I look to be casting at these points. Angles. Like you did an article a while back for redfish on angles.
Go grab it. Got the leader? So you're throwing angles across the current. I think I'm gonna grab him here so that I don't end up wearing that lure. You got your needle nose. So we're gonna throw across the current, which would be somewhat
When you get on these bridges.
Up current and 90 degrees to it if you can.
Correct.
Stand up. I got him. Go ahead. Stand at one side of the current. Oh my God, turn it. Let me get this front hook out of him, Ronnie.
Normally when the bite ain't on like it's supposed to, you start getting the smaller fish first.
All right. There you go. Well, he's certainly healthy.
Yep.
Certainly healthy. So we're going to throw across the current. So you're standing on one side of the bridge, throwing across the gap of the bridge.
I stand on the right side of the bridge, cast to the left, stand to the left, and cast to the right.
Got
Bring
it.
it on the corners.
I got it. Well, that's good. That looks like you did a good one there, Ron. Yeah. There you go.
Getting better, dog.
Yeah. This Conservation Minute is brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Coral reefs. They're among North America's greatest treasures, and they need your help. One of our most delicate habitats, Florida's coral reefs have been called the rainforests of the sea, in part because they are second only to tropical rainforests in the number of species that call them home. It's easy to hurt a coral. People do it unintentionally all the time. That's why the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, one of several agencies committed to preserving this important part of the ecosystem, wants to remind you that all Florida coral is protected. It cannot be collected, harvested, or sold. Don't touch it. Don't stand on it. Don't drag objects over living coral. Don't dump trash anywhere near a reef or anywhere else at sea for that matter. To enjoy this treasure, anchor your boat in a sandy area well away from the reef. For more information on this beautiful marine resource on Florida's southern coast, visit myfwc.com.
Contender boats. Take it to the limit. Wherever you find fishing tournament winners, you'll find contender boat owners. First to the fishing grounds, first to the winner's circle. When you look for strength, versatility, and ocean ability, you find contender boats. Hand-built, one by one, each and every one. Contender Boats is proud to introduce its new 23 Tournament Edition, the latest in true mid-size offshore fishing rigs. Contender is committed to providing outstanding quality and performance. Nothing else delivers. Expect the most. Contender Boats. If you're a boater, you know it's required by law to carry at least one life jacket for every passenger on board. Maybe you're thinking, I can swim, I don't need a life jacket. Consider that the leading cause of death in boating accidents is drowning, even though 96% of fatality victims were reported as being able to swim. New inflatable models of life jackets can be worn as a waist pack on a belt. For more information about life jackets and boating safety, visit myfwc.com. And remember, safe boating is up to you.
Wouldn't it be great if you could snap on a lure and just go fishing? With something that looks like, and more importantly, swims like the real thing. With lures that come pre-rigged with the best components available. With baits designed by people who fish all over the world. But most importantly, you tie these on your line, you're going to catch some fish.
The new Humminbird 900 series will change the way you look at fishing. You get the extra dimension of 3D sonar, full chart plotting and GPS, and exclusive side imaging with a picture-like view of the bottom, all on an ultra-wide, high-definition display. The 900 series fishing system doesn't just perform on the water, it practically walks on it. Humminbird, simply, clearly better.
Yamaha's Big Block V6 4-strokes. Everything you want when you're miles offshore. Everything and more. Up to 250 ocean-conquering horses. More than enough top-end muscle to move the big boats. Yamaha turn-the-key reliability translates to confident starts. Quiet, clean-burning performance. Smooth, powerful acceleration. And cruise all-day fuel efficiency. Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
Where else can you fish for over 50 species of game fish? Where have most world record fish been caught? Where are are there more than 8,000 miles of coastline, 12,000 miles of rivers and streams, and 3 million acres of freshwater lakes and ponds. Florida, the fishing capital of the world. For more information, contact the commission office nearest you or go to myfwc.com.
How many bites you have here, Ronnie?
3.
3 bites already? Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a nice fish. There you go now. Look, I just can't get over how skinny the fish are. You know?
Yep.
They just haven't gotten, they've done their spawn probably. And now they're coming up in here to get fattened up. And they hadn't got fattened up yet.
Nope.
Because the bait's inconsistent depending on the rain and stuff.
That's it.
Now you think that that fish is a male?
I'm sure he is, male.
Yeah. Wow, that's a cool fish though.
It might be down the canal now.
3 o'clock in the morning.
That's what Chris did. He fished the canal, this canal. 3 hits and 3 casts.
I'd say they might be down the canal.
Did you get hit over there?
Yeah, a little tarpon. I was reeling it in because I heard you had a bite here just a second ago.
I had a good fish too.
And
Spit me
then,
right at the bank.
And then so I was reeling it in real quick and I got a pow, you know, never even got a hook in the fish. So I'll go over there in 5 minutes from now and get another bite out of them. They're kind of nipping at it, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
What?
What kind of man gets out, leaves a pretty wife at home and comes out here
and
to
do
be
this.
in mosquito-infested glades
Nice little fish.
30 miles from nowhere? It's got to
How
be.
often you do this?
Try not to do it at all. But you know what, Ron? Thanks. I'm glad you invited us. You know, Buckatama.
I'm gonna get me another
All
one.
right, get that fish back in the water, and I'm gonna come over here and get in your hole.
Cast straight down the bank.
Down
Get
this
down on
way.
that rock.
Huh?
Get down on that rock. Cast straight down the bank.
This way.
Yeah, a long ways.
A long ways. Got him right?
Yeah.
Can't leave you alone for a second. Careful you don't fall. Hey, man, there you go, Ron.
Getting better. Throw that X-Fab down there.
I got him.
Throw it down there a long ways. That's where they are. They're down this canal. Throw a long ways.
Going long. Right down the middle?
Yep.
That's a nice fish there, Ron.
Straight up. X-Wrap. Blue sardine. Can a man get a sardine at 3 in the morning?
That's like ordering Domino's and...
That's what it's about, man. Just gotta move around, play around.
Yeah, Ron, you know what? What kind of advice would you give somebody if they're really hardcore and they want to learn how to do this? What would you tell them?
Well, number 1, size baits I'm using with a lip. Casting a long ways down a canal, or you get down the bridges where there's current, you want to cast the sides. It don't necessarily have to be an expensive lure. It can be anything similar to this.
Right.
Always use a minimum of 50-pound leader. Some nights you come out, you catch some good ones, some nights you don't. But I mean, it looks like the bite's starting to turn on a little bit. We're doing something a little different. We're casting long ways down the canals instead of casting the current.
Right.
And
Oh, there he is. I got one too.
He's on.
I got him on, Ron. Good advice. Throw it a long ways down the canal. They must be stacked down there a little ways.
Put in your time. That's the advice I give you. I've been fishing out here all my life. Straight up right ants all over my hands, too. Let's get Murphy's fish.
There we go.
Got him, Rick?
Yeah. I'm waiting on you to land him.
Getting better. That's a nice fish, Rick.
Yeah. Not quite ready. Oh, yeah.
As
That
all
looks
the
so
traffic's
cool.
driving by.
Look at this sawgrass in the background, mangroves. Now, Ron, you try to look at points, you know, if you're first stage in here.
Well, I tried to. We tried that earlier. It wasn't working, but look at the water flowing.
Now the water's flowing.
Fish got to be coming down the canal.
Yeah. There you go. That looks like he's a good one there, Ron. Yeah. There you go.
Getting better, dog.
Yeah. I see that smile on your face is growing too.
See, but I tell you what. When you go fishing with Jeffrey Page, you let him diss you. You're the bus driver, you drive the bus.
Yeah.
I gotta let Papa get on there and get him some.
Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what, he did a pretty good job that one show we were doing.
I tell you what, it don't take Papa Murphy long to figure out when I seen him walking to that truck, put on that X-Wrap.
Hey,
Didn't take long. That's a good fish, Rick.
hold him long enough, I have another one on our hope.
Nighttime fishing on the Tamiami Trail is something that anyone can do. No boats and no exotic travel to faraway places. Just pack up your best fishing partner and plenty of mosquito repellent, and you too will have a great sportsman's adventure.